Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for you got it. Gemini, know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Okay. That's very important when we're dealing with people that have a lot of spiritual blocks. They create illusions and personas that trigger us, and the relationship is supposed to feel when we meet the person like, again, that it should be easy because we feel the familiar energy. We feel that the person is a soul mate of some sort. And so we identify that with love, but a lot of times the person doesn't show love. So understanding why the person does what they do is really important because it allows us to then take the blame off of ourselves. A lot of times a person makes us feel a certain way. And that feeling is inadequate, not good enough. And the reason why is because the relationship isn't working, but they're always projecting, making us feel a certain way. So understanding, like, again, what their blocks are allows you to, again, not take things personally and allows you then the space to see how you're contributing to the imbalances within the connection so that you can change the behaviorisms to get a different outcome. Whether that person's willing to change or not, it doesn't matter. When you change, the connection automatically changes. Now, anything you want to know about the channel, or whether or not you want to book a reading or want to sign up for my coaching program, anything of any importance or relevance to me or the channel, you can find in the description box. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word in the video in your comment bar. Again, the word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Sometimes I pull two cards, but you only have to write the one word in your comment bar. All right, let's see what that word is. I'm going to just pull a quick one, and that is determination. And we're going to pull one more. Jealousy. And this card fell on the floor, and it doesn't belong in the deck, but we're gonna put it over there anyway. And this is boiling point. So I'm feeling like you're in connection with somebody that's connected to somebody else. And things are at its boiling point because that person that you're connected to, the person that's connected to you, I should say, is holding back from that karmic. And things are getting worse. Like, again, more emotional turmoil is building up because, like I said, it's your person is determined to make their way back. They're determined to get away from that karmic. I feel like they see the karmic for who they are. And so, again, the connection is at its boiling point. And it's all because this karmic is like realizing that they actually overplayed their hand. I feel like they overplayed their hand to the point that they exposed themselves, to the point that the person that's connected to you might have been confused for a long time of what they wanted to do, whether they wanted to stay with the karmic or whether or not they wanted to come to you. I feel like for a long time, the karmic spent a lot of time and a lot of energy on manipulating the situation, but they can no longer manipulate. They like overplayed their hand. They expose themselves. So it's, again, the situation's at boiling point. So let's take a peek and let's start by what your person feels about you. Well, like, we're not even going to look at this person's situation first and see like what they feel about you. I'm not going to give up to give in fear. I know fear is only an illusion. So this person, like I said, they're afraid. It's not that they're not afraid to make the changes in their life. It's that they're not going to let fear hold them back any longer. When this person looks into your eyes, they see the universe and it activates them. So again, I feel like they just know that it's a spiritual connection. They know that the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes they judge the situation instead of surrender to it because they're like, because of their situation, they're like, how am I going to get out of my situation? How am I going to get, like, why isn't it easy? Like, why did I meet this person at this time? What if this person doesn't love me anymore? Is there even such thing as a soulmate? Like, this person is just being triggered by the connection because it's forcing them to change if they want the connection. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards, I'm not even sure why I said them. This person again feels very comfortable around you. They feel abandoned and they often feel like other people let them down. So it's almost like safer to stay in that situation, even though they don't want to stay in that situation. It's not fulfilling them. They know why they stayed in that situation, I should say. And it's because other people let them down. So it's even being connected to someone that they're not really desired to like have a desire to be with. It's reliable. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything that you say, even replay our conversations in our head. So again, this person I don't feel like is that transparent, where you again feel as if, that they are really listening or that they really even want a deep connection is what I was going for, like, because they act like they don't care. But I feel like, again, this person has a hard time being emotionally vulnerable. And so they're not really transparent. And I also feel like sometimes the things that you say, it takes them a while for things to sink in, that they're not that deep. They don't feel that comfortable to go deep. So it takes them a few days to really reflect on it. They feel, you know, your energy merging together with theirs, and it feels like it has a life of their own. And I feel like it's because they tried to walk away. They tried to end this. It's like it's just easier to stay with the karmic, even though they don't desire the karmic. They don't really want to be with that karmic. It's that it's again, there was fear of change, but what's happening is that things have gotten to a boiling point with them and the karmic to the point that they're like, I can no longer live this way because now I have something to compare to. Now it's like again, and it's your energy, and it's because I desire you. Their ego is fragile to criticism and rejection, so they have created walls to protect themselves, but they're looking for a way out of the situation in order so that they can be free. So it's again, what this thing is like, it was just easier to stay connected to a karmic that didn't allow them, that didn't expect anything of them, where they didn't have to grow up. It was comfortable because they've been abandoned before, because they've been hurt before. So if this was a sure thing and it required no change. However, it's like that karmic knows that there's somebody. And again, it's that your person's not giving the karmic emotionally what they need. So they're like, if you're not giving me it, then there's somebody else. And the karmic is getting mad and they're getting jealous. And I feel like there's a part of them that's determined to try to like instill enough fear into your person, the person that's connected to you, to make sure that they don't go anywhere, but that's not working anymore. That's what I feel. It's not working. And it's because the energy has a mind of its own. The same divine energy that flows in each of us. This energy is the catalyst to our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic. That it's again, this person knows that they're going to be with you because they're like, I still feel you. You are again my person. I know that. It's like they don't need to do anything. This karmic thought, I'm going to put obstacle in front of obstacle in front of obstacle to prevent, this person from coming to you. It's not going to work. Doesn't matter how much time or how much space the connection can't be broken. And so this karmic is getting more and more and more and more like frustrated because this person is like still watching you and stalking you. They might not be in your life, but they see you're working to create change and they're proud of what you are accomplishing, and they want to work on whatever it is whatever it is that you're working on. So again, they're seeing themselves in your life. It's like, I want to know everything about you, but I hold myself back, they're afraid that they get too deep. And that's what, again, this connection's all about. Making them, they can't be transparent. You show up in my dreams. It helps me to process my buried memories. It's again, sometimes they don't feel deserving and it's affecting their levels of abundance and to be open. So they're again working through their own healing, but there's still a connection to you and that it can't be destroyed. And that again, yes, they have to deal with the karmic and it's not going to be easy. They know that it's not going to be easy. They say, I need to move slowly with this, but trust that even I am moving, even when it seems that I'm not, because inside things are turning, like they are changing. But I feel like they have to like awaken to what that karmic was actually doing, what that karmic, how the karmic was manipulating. This person needed to be able to compare. They needed to, actually go through this experience to see again why they don't feel really deserving of this connection. They know that they have to let go of that karmic in order to. They have created walls. They have to let down those walls. Because when they were with you, like what you knew is that they had a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears associated with it. So they kept manifesting within this relationship as chaos in the relationship. And that you just felt like the person felt really displaced, and that made you feel displaced, like you guys didn't even belong together because they couldn't be transparent. And, I feel like having that person just lingering in the background, they just weren't giving you enough time, like where you felt like they weren't really being serious. And obviously you did have expectations. And I feel like they have expectations because they feel the connection and unconditional love. You're supposed to put up with this was their expectation. And your expectation is, I thought that you were going to be my knight in shining armor and come in and, treat me like it was something special. And instead you didn't. Instead, I feel like you were wearing a mask, like showing me a version of yourself. But meanwhile, like you're not even settled in past. And really, Spirit's thing is like they had abandonment issues. So when you were dealing with them, because of the abandonment issues, they weaved in and out of your life. And so you thought that they were wearing a mask. Because again, they weren't giving you the time. And it's because you just feel like, well, we don't belong. And it's really, again, the expectation of what you thought, because there was a soul connection, but the connection couldn't go further, couldn't really evolve, couldn't grow. They couldn't give to the connection because of the past. And so the past would kept reliving within this person's like in the connection. So now they want to come back. So we have to say, what do you need to learn from this connection? Right? Again, you're a magnet of what comes into your life. You have to say, why would you attract a person like this into your life? And what's the whole point, spiritual significance? Now, some of you might say, I'm not taking this person back. And you don't have to, you have free will. However, it would still be a divine connection, and spirit would say, well, this person still is healing because their job was to get to a place of unconditional love, to realize that they are worthy. But they need to ground that energy to show. So they actually are looking out for a way to get away from that karmic. They're in a loveless connection. They see again that how you fit in their life, and in that they have to rise up to that level. But for you, it lies in secrecy. We look at your inner child wounds, and these are it. Space. Not all, inner child shadows are wounds. Sometimes they're gifts. Time and attention. Source. nurture, nurture, discipline, self-sabotage, and neglect. So those are your inner child cards, and we're going to pull two from your another deck. All right, we're from the Fearless deck, and we're going to pull Ascending Life, and we're going to pull Pathfinder. So Spirit says, you attracted this person into your life because as a child, you were not nurtured. You didn't nurture any talents or anything like to make them grow. And it was because you were not nurtured. You were neglected. You didn't get the time and the attention. So you didn't discipline yourself to really learn to master anything. Like, so you might think, well, I'm not good at anything. And Spirit says you are good at things. You just don't know because you haven't created yourself. Instead, you were trying to nurture yourself the best way that you know how. And that could be, you had a lot of friends. You, again, escaped into other ways. But really, Spirit says you didn't, because you were neglected. You weren't, again, that there was no time and attention. You were not disciplined. So that means whether you did something good, you did something bad, no one really paid attention to what you were doing. And you, again, never disciplined yourself because you weren't parented. You parented yourself. And you disciplined, you would, in order to like really be good at something, you have to be consistent. You have to give it energy. You have to be disciplined enough to practice, to show up for yourself. And you didn't because you were never shown that. You were never nurtured. And so you self-sabotaged yourself. This was a way that you kept getting in your own way, Spirit saying. So, and you have a good connection to source, to spirit. Again, because, not having anyone and having to parent yourself made you very intuitive. Because again, that's what happens when children are trying to survive and they don't have the logical and analytical skills to figure out what happens. They try to survive like an animal through their senses, which again, the connection to source is through clairsentience. And when we have clairsentience a lot, it turns to claircognizance, which is, I don't know how I knew that, I just knew. And Spirit says, so there's parts of you that were conditioned to not give to yourself, to give to other people, where Spirit says, and that would be self-sabotaging. You listened to yourself in this situation and you nurtured your own skills. Again, you gave yourself the time and attention. That's what Spirit said. You took the time and the empty space, which is the time, to create yourself, which is why this person is watching what you're doing and they're saying, I'm proud of what you're accomplishing. I want to be a part of that. I see a thing. It's again, so you're healing by seeing yourself differently, by grounding, by putting the energy towards you, by giving yourself the time and the attention. And Spirit says to help you ascend life, right? To let go of who you thought you were to the person that you really are today. And that's, again, you did that by finding your own path, by creating your own way, that God makes a way where there is no way just for you because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you, that you are on the right path. Even if you don't see that a lot of people have gone on this path, your path is unique to you. That again, you're on your pathfinder, that again, you're here to do great things, to again, ascend life, to see the limitations of yourself transcend. And that's when we have a good connection to source. So Spirit says it was about you not giving your time and attention to this person because it would have been self-sabotaging. To discipline yourself, to do what you needed to do, to not neglect yourself, but to give yourself the time and attention to nurture yourself, to use again, all the empty space to create. Think of it as an empty white canvas ready for your paint to whatever you want to create. That spirit says, that's where you are. That's why this person's coming back into your life. That's why this person's like, well, I have something, I can see how I would be in your life. And so again, if you would have been there, if you would have handled this differently, they would have been a karmic. But because you handled it this way, the way that you did, they're actually ready to step up to be ready to be your twin flame. But it doesn't mean that they don't need to heal things. They do. Again, they don't know that they're good enough for you or that they're deserving, which they know that they're not. They have to heal. They have to, but they're ready to do that. And so Spirit leaves us off with one more message, and that is success. Grow and thrive in the universe. Discover the purity of your heart and the higher wisdom that guides you towards victory. I direct my thoughts towards clarity and nurture wisdom, love, and goodness within me. I am free now, and I succeed in my life. And so Spirit saying it's a time for you to, again, step into this energy. Your twin flame helps you step into the best version of yourself so that you could succeed in life, to see a different version of yourself, to be able to be guided from wisdom with a higher wisdom, which is the higher self, which is the God part of self, instead of the ego, which is always just coming from the experiences that we know, the experiences that we perceive, where really Spirit saying life is so much more than that. And to just, if you've been wounded, to continue to direct your thoughts towards clarity and nurture wisdom, love, and the goodness within yourself. Again, by continuing to grow yourself, create yourself, and that will set you free, because it sets you free from those chains that bind you to your past traumas and allows you to transcend the limitations of yourself. And that's how you succeed in life. It's that you understand that life, we're always co-creating. And again, to put our energy more into ourselves. When we do that, we're not codependent. And we get to see what unconditional love is. This person's coming back. It's like they're coming back in their own way. You're not going to have judgment of the way that they come back, Spirit says, but that they're coming back because they're your twin flame, that they're ready to step it up because you didn't like settle for less. And now this person is finally ready to step it up into their divine being, so that really you both can manifest a new reality, which will allow you to not just birth something that helps humanity, but allows you to see yourself differently. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.